Started actually working in communications for one of the think tanks in Washington, D.C., and I became very interested in renewable energy. I'd learned a little bit about the energy sector in general, but didn't know a lot about renewables until I started to work at the American Wind Energy Association. And when I was there, I did a lot of communications work for them and learned in a very short amount of time the ins and outs of the industry. And since then, I've been fortunate enough to move on to the American Council on Renewable Energy, or ACORE, where I can now work with all of the technologies. And so I've learned everything about both the power generation side with wind and solar and things like that, also the renewable fuels side and biofuels and the challenges and opportunities that are there. So I'm the Strategic Communications Manager at ACORE, and my job is primarily to work on two projects: the Energy Fact Check website at energyfactcheck.org and the Energy Communicators Group, which is a collection of over 400 industry communicators and staff from both the private sector and the nonprofit sector. And my work focuses on research, writing to dispel myths and to put facts from very wonky presentations and from difficult studies into something that everyday people can understand, something that journalists can understand, and something that government leaders can understand. And then I also work with ACORE on building their communications process. So as the renewable energy industry grows, we want to make sure we have a communications process that can match that and tell the good news about renewable energy around both the United States and increasingly the world. The most challenging part of my job, hands down, is probably dealing with the myths about renewable energy and finding a way to put into words the value proposition that renewable energy brings. Working in an industry that's transforming every single day, we're going from being a minuscule part of energy, something that I think a lot of people saw as very much a niche part of the mix, to what is now an extremely viable industry, a profitable industry, an industry that's actually transforming the way that we live and the way that the world produces its energy. Tremendous prospects. It's an industry that's only going to grow. I think there's something for everyone. If you're a biologist or a chemist and you're very interested in the biofuel side, that's something that is expanding and transforming from some of the traditional ethanol to the more advanced biofuels. And then I also think that for somebody who wants to get into the job or into the industry, my advice absolutely would just be to read as much as you can about it and learn as much as you can about it. The more you know about the industry, the ins and outs of it, read not only the news stories, but the studies and some of the more technical pieces that will actually give you a really basic but very nuanced understanding of how the industry works. And you will have tremendous success if you understand it from the inside out.